Geography 101. In this episode, we explore Georgia, a nation shaped by towering mountains, fertile valleys, and ancient trade routes at the crossroad of continents. Its geography has guided history, culture, and survival for thousands of years. The land itself tells a powerful story. Located between the Eastern Europe and Western Asia, this region has long served as a natural bridge. Merchants, travelers, and empires move through its corridors. Geography ensured constant interaction with surrounding worlds. Isolation and exchange existed side by side. The northern horizon is dominated by massive mountain ranges. This peaks from the natural barriers and climatic divides. Snow covered summits influence weather patterns year round. High elevations demand resilience from those who live nearby. Below the mountains, fertile plains stretch across the interior. Rivers descending from higher ground enrich the soil. These areas supported early agriculture and permanent settlement. Geography made sustained life possible. River systems shape both movement and development. Flowing across regions, they connect communities and markets. Settlement form along their banks. Water dictated growth and trade. To the west, the land opens toward vast inland sea. These coastlines introduce maritime trade and cultural exchange. Ports become gateways beyond the mountains. The seas soften climate and outlook. Climate varies dramatically across short distance. Humid coastal zones contrast with the drier eastern plains. Highland areas experience long winters and cold summers. Geography creates microclimates. This diversity supports a wide range of ecosystems. Forests, wetlands, grasslands, and alpine zones coexist. Biodiversity thrives because of elevation changes. Nature adapts to terrain. Mountains isolations preserve distinct local traditions. Communities develop independently for generations. Language and many more are dress and custom endured. Geography protected cultural uniqueness. Highland passes serve as both gateways and checkpoints. Control of these routes means power. Geography influences military strategy throughout history. Land dictated defense. Geological forces shape the rugged terrain. Tectonic movement raised mountains and carved valleys. Earthquakes reminded inhabitants and instability. The land remains active. Urban centers developed where geography allowed access and protections. Rivers, hills, and trade routes defined city locations. Expansion followed natural contours. Settlement adapted to land. Cave dwellings carved into the cliffs shows human ingenuity. These structures provided shelter and defense. The environment became architecture. Geography demanded innovation. Agriculture varies by elevation and rainfall. Different regions specialize in different crops. Soil and climate determine productivity. The land guided diet and economy. Viticultures emerged early due to favorable conditions. Slope, soil, composition, and climate supported grape cultivation. Wine became both products and tradition. Geography shaped heritage. Forested regions stabilize slopes and regulate water systems. They provide habitat and natural resources. Mountain forests protected downstream communities while balances. the ecosystems. Wildlife reflects environmental diversity. Large animals or mammals inhabit remote highlands. Birds migrate through wetlands and coastal zones. Each species occupies geographic niches in Georgia. Strategic location attracts competing empires. Controlment influence over trade and movement. Geography invited and resistance. History followed terrain. Ancient trade corridors passed by nearby, linking continents. Merchants transported goods and ideas. Cultural exchange followed geographic opportunity, and the land enabled connection. Georgia is a coastal region influenced modern economic activity. Tourism, shipping, and fisheries depend on access to water. Seasonal visitors reshape local economies, and geography fuels industry. Harsh winters is elevated areas limit mobility. Communities plan life around seasons. Food storages and cooperation become essential. Shape social structure as we deal with the weather. Lowland regions allow denser populations. Longer growing seasons support urban growth. Trade center emerge naturally. Geography influence demographics. Natural boundaries often define political borders. Mountains and rivers mark divisions. These features both protect and isolate Georgia, and it shapes sovereignty. Transformation networks must adapt to difficult terrain. Tunnels, bridges, and winding roads are necessary. Infrastructures follow geography's rules. Engineering responds to land in Georgia. Fast flowing rivers support renewable energy productions. Hydropower uses elevations change effectively and efficiently. Georgia's enables sustainability. Nature becomes energy. Rural settlements reflect the shape of the land. Buildings align with slopes and climate. Materials come from nearby environments and informs. This will be a big design in Georgia. Linguistic diversity survived due to geographic separations. Valleys and mountains limited interaction. Language evolved independently, and this will preserve the culture in Georgia. Modern geopolitics remain influenced by location. Proximity to powerful neighbors brings opportunity, and tensions remains relevant map shapes and policy. Mountain ranges influences rainfall distribution. Moist air rises and cools along slopes. One side becomes greener than the other, while it controls the weather. Adventurous tourism thrives in the rugged landscape. Hiking, skiing, and climbing attract visitors. Terrain becomes experience, while geography creates opportunity. Rivers and springs carry spiritual significance in Georgia. Water symbolizes life and renewal. Sacred sites align with the natural features, and it shapes belief and traditions. Agricultural festivals follow seasonal cycles. Harvests depend on elevation and climate. Celebration reflects geographic rhythm. Cultures mirrors land. Urban explanation or an expansion is also constrained by mountains. Cities grow strategically rather than endlessly. Land enforces limits. Geography shapes planning. Soil composition varies across regions. Volcanic and alluvial soils differ in fertility. Crop success depends on location. Geography defines yield. In natural hazards include landslide and floods in Georgia, steep terrains increases risk. Preparations is essentials and demands respect. Protected areas conserve ecological variety. National parks safeguard landscape and species. Conservation recognizes geographic value. Land becomes a legacy. Long term isolations fostered resilience and self reliance. Communities learned endurance, thought survival strength grew from challenges. Many modern roads in Georgia follow ancient routes. Geography established paths long ago. History remains adds to terrain. Movement follows memory. Climate change affects glaciers and water supply. Melting ice alters river flow, and geography shapes belonging. Cuisine reflects environment availability. Ingredients differ from altitude and climate. Food follows land, flavors, and traditions. Architectures adapt whether the terrain stone dominates. Colder regions, lighter materials suit milder zones. Geography builds form in Georgia. The Caucasus has long symbolized division and connection. The land sits at its heart. Geography places it between worlds. Balance is essential. National endurance mirrors rugged landscapes. Repeated challenges shape character. The land fought persistence, and geography forged resilience. Modern identity embraces natural beauty, landscape define branding, and tourism. Geography becomes story, land speaks. Science studies ecosystem and geology in Georgia. Diversity offers research opportunities and attracts knowledge seekers, land advocates. The environment continues to change in Georgia. Rivers shift, climates warm, ecosystem adapt, and Georgia is alive. Change is constant. To understand the country of Georgia is to understand its land, history, culture, and economy traced back to terrain. Georgia explains continuity, place defines meaning. This journey shows how Georgia's mountains, seas, and valleys shape human life. The land influences every chapter of history. Geography is not the background, it's the story. Once again, Daniel Lucas here. Enjoy our episode for today featuring Georgia and catch you next week for another great episode. More to come, people. See you soon.